Well, Europe is teetering on the brink. There's been an increase of 44% in the last week in the rate of infection. Case numbers nearly now at 5 million across the bloc, and that shocking death toll of 200,000 people who've lost their lives to the virus across the continent. That comes as we're seeing a slew of new measures being imposed across the continent to deal with an uptick in the rate of infection, particularly in the worst affected countries, which are France, Belgium and Spain. Now, here in Belgium, on Friday, we had the announcement of new measures to combat the virus, particularly here in Brussels, which is now Europe's most dangerous city. The rate of infection here higher than anywhere else in Europe at 800 cases per 100,000 in the population, and that rises in some parts of the city. We've got a nationwide curfew of midnight to 5 a.m. Put around the country. Bars, restaurants and cafes have been closed for a 4-week period, and home working has been made mandatory where possible. We're told that if the current rate of hospitalisation continues, which is doubling every 11 days, then the country's intensive care wards could be full by mid-November. We are told that the peak could be yet to come and that we have a difficult 10 days to come. Now, in France, we've also had new measures imposed there after a record number of cases over the weekend, some 32,700 in a single 24-hour period. Hospital wards and intensive care units drastically filling up, particularly in the Paris region, where there's a warning that there could be full saturation in the coming days. Meanwhile, in Italy, it too saw a record number of cases of nearly 12,000 over the weekend and has introduced new measures that stop short of a full lockdown. The first lockdown, which was in place longer in Italy than anywhere else in Europe, of some 10 weeks, cost 47 billion every month. So Italian authorities are hoping to balance the health risks with the need to keep the economy alive. So what we're seeing there is the closure of bars and restaurants at midnight, and from 6 p.m. mandatory table service only. You're seeing increasing numbers of cases across the bloc, but governments desperate to keep economies open, schools open where possible, whilst balancing the health risks, particularly as hospitalisations increase as well. Hough, SABC News, Brussels.